Hey, I'm Josh.
And I'm Susan, and these are our kids, Dylan, Haley, and Parker.
This is our 40-foot converted Thomas Saf-T-Liner. Come and check it out.
Welcome to our living room. This is the spot in the bus where we hang out together as a family. We wanted to make sure that this space was functional yet really comfortable so that as we are here together as a family, we can enjoy the time in our bus. We had a bus previous and we had a dinette that was always set up, and we found that it was just more in the way. So what we chose to do was do more of an L-shaped couch so we could fit more people on the couch. And then we just store our table over here. And that way it's out of the way when it's not in use. And then when we want to have dinner together as a family, we can put the legs into the brackets that are on the floor here, and then we set up the table, and then we can sit around it as a family and enjoy dinner together. We also have a TV so that we can watch movies together as a family, have like a family night together. Under the wheel well, it's kind of in the way, but we utilize the space. And so under there we store our curtains that we hang in the front window at night for privacy, and then we just extra small things like our masks go in there, and maybe extra shoes, just things that need to get out of the way. And then we also have storage underneath the couch here, and then on this side of the couch we have our battery banks and our inverter and things like that. Josh built this bookshelf for us so that we could put all of our kids and our books up there. And also we just wanted a touch of home as we're on the road, so we put up just our cute little flowers and just things to just bring the space to life. This is our kitchen. We actually love our kitchen in our space. It works great for a family of 5. We made it an L shape because we wanted to be able to work in the space, but also let the kids be able to get in and out of the bus and back into their living space and not be bumping into one another. We have plenty of storage for a family of 5. So our upper cabinets, we actually store like our canned goods in here. Our spices go up here, coffee cups and things like that, things that are not breakable. I absolutely love the upper cabinets. If I could change one thing, I might have had them come out just a little bit more. We were afraid that it would impede our space, but I find if we would have come out just a little bit more, we would still have a lot of space, but we'd have a little bit more storage in here. Underneath, we have our plates and our dishes are down here. We chose to go with plastic just because when you're driving, you don't want something to bounce out and break. We have our stovetop, our cooktop. It's worked well for our family. Down below it, we have an air fry microwave, and that works as a microwave and an air fryer and an oven, and we can utilize that with our generator or when we're plugged in at a campsite. Beneath here on this side, we have our garbage can. Since we do have a family of 5, we needed a space where we could fit all that in. We do have dry goods down below on this side, like cereal boxes and things like that. And then we did put in a pantry over here so we could store just our extra snacks and goodies and things like that. Down below, Josh made it so that we could actually fit our vacuum in there. It collapses and then it slides in down below, and then it's tucked out of the way, and then when we're driving, it doesn't bounce all over the place. We actually splurged on our fridge. It's a Dometic RV fridge, and we wanted it because we wanted to be able to boondock, and this runs off of propane, and there's plenty of storage. And then we also love it because it clicks shut, and so when you're driving, it doesn't fling open and all your items come out on the floor. Our friend Martha from home was so generous, and she did all our curtains for us, and she just did a wonderful job. And that way it adds a touch of home, and it's cute, but also at night we can close it and it adds a lot of privacy for us. We love our sink here. We put it in the corner because we wanted to have as much counter space as possible, and we find that it works great for us because at dinner time we'll do kind of like a buffet style. We'll put everything out here on the counter, and then people just kind of walk around, dish up on the stove, get their side dishes, and then they'll go around to the table and sit down. So we have found that the corner sink has worked out great. The only thing I would say is it is back a little bit, so when you are washing dishes, it's a little bit farther away from you if you're shorter, but like the kids, but they haven't complained about their backs. They just complain about washing the dishes. We had to install a faucet that comes out so that you can rinse everything. These were bouncing around, so we found a basket that we could suction to the window and just keep that nice and secure so nothing falls or breaks. So another feature that we love in our kitchen is our skylight. We wanted to have a lot of the outdoors in, and with all the windows, and then again with the skylight, it just brings all that light in and it just creates a space that is happy and inviting. There was an area there for the emergency hatch for when it was a school bus, so we thought we would utilize that and turn it into a skylight, and it worked out great.
We were both doing W-2 jobs ever since school, basically, and but we kind of felt the need or the desire to take some time off and spend some time with the kids and switch gears career-wise and stuff like that. So this was a good way to get on the road and see some new things and spend some more time together.
We wanted to be able to travel with our kids and spend time with our kids and see the world, but do it in a way that suited our needs and fit our personalities. And so having the bus, we could design it the way we wanted it and decorate it the way we wanted it and just have it function well for our family.
When we designed the bus, we really wanted to build it in a way that we could be off-grid as long as possible. So we put together a battery bank that would kind of keep us sustained for a few days. So this is our kind of our control center for the electrical system. We've got two sources of 120 volt power. Either we can be plugged in or we have a generator on board as well. So we have a selector switch for that. The other thing we have is an inverter, 3000 watt inverter charger. And so when we're plugged in, that inverter actually charges the batteries as well, sort of in reverse. When we're not plugged in, that inverter will actually pull power out of it and turn it into 120 volt for us so we can use it for regular outlets. And so we've also, in here we've got our selector switch, we've got our 12 volt fuse panel, and then all of our 120 volt breakers. Also our charge controller for the Renogy, we have 400 watts of Renogy solar on the roof as well. And then on the outside here, just for quick reference, we threw all of the panels over here. So we've got, one of the things that's really important is safety, obviously sitting inside of a bus, especially with kids. And so we've got propane on board. So we've got a propane alarm, which is this unit here. We've got our battery monitor, our Renogy on-off switch for the inverter. This outlet here, highly recommended if you're doing one of these, to have an outlet that runs just off the generator and doesn't run through the inverter. So you have power, you know, for higher use items or higher draw items. And then our water heater. So the water heater, we chose to go with a point of use or on-demand water heater. So it's runs off propane, and it just turns on when you need it. The one downside I would say is if you're taking a shower and you want to conserve water, you end up with some cold mixed in there as you're turning it on and off. So that's a little unpleasant, but it's totally fine. Living in the woods, still having a shower, so works out pretty good. So on this side, we just have the controls for the front diesel heater. They have two options, LED screen or just a rotary style. And so in our old bus, we had an LED screen and we just found that it wasn't that functional. We didn't use it very much. So we just went with the on-off and rotary, and it's been fine. And then just our light switch for our kitchen on this side. Okay, so when we designed the bus, one of the things we went back and forth with quite a bit was how to build the bathroom. So we knew we wanted a toilet and a shower and a sink. We toyed around with the idea of the whole bathroom on one side of the bus with a hallway down one side. But then that was taking more space up to get back into the center aisle, so to speak, for the bunk area. So we kind of split it up. So we have the toilet on one side and the shower on the other. We decided to make the space wide enough to use the doors basically to close them off. So what we do is you can actually close off this space just by opening the door. And then, so you can do that here and you do this one here. And then you've basically got like a full, huge bathroom to use if you're getting ready in the mornings or at night or whatever. So That's the rear one, and we close this one off here as well. Welcome to the toilet room, the throne room. One of the things, so toilet-wise, we talked about doing like a Nature's Head composting toilet or something. But what we found on our last build was we didn't like pulling the whole thing out and putting it back in. And so we decided to go with a standard kind of RV setup where you've got the black tank underneath. And then that ties in with the gray tank, and you just pull into a dump site and dump it out. It's been pretty easy. So we really like that. The other thing is it flushes, which is, it's just, I don't know, we like it better. And so that's personal preference thing, but that's what we chose to do. In the rest of the bathroom is pretty simple. We've got an exhaust fan that we threw in for obvious reasons, and a laundry hangs on the wall here, which has been pretty convenient. One of the things that's kind of cool about this bathroom is that we've got the emergency exit door for the bus when it was a school bus is right here. And so when we started laying things out, it worked out really well to just leave it there and continue to use it. So like, if you know, the idea was like the kids could run out this way if something was going on up front. They had another way to get out and access the outside of the bus. And so that's been pretty cool. We like having that there. This is our shower. This room we wanted to make sure we had a separate space where we could shower, as well as the sink for hand washing and brushing your teeth and stuff like that. We ended up doing like a custom shower basically. So we built our own shower pan and tiled the whole thing, and I was a little bit nervous, to be honest, that bumping around in a bus, all the tile would fall off by the time we got 30 miles down the road, but it hasn't yet. So I'm happy. We're crossing our fingers on that. And if it falls off, we'll just put it back in. Basically, our shower is, it doesn't have like a mixing valve. It just has one straight valve. It's just hot water from the water heater on demand. We control the temperature on the front panel of that control panel. Just pipes in the hot water to the shower, and that's it. I did, I don't know, months of searching to find the smallest possible sink that I could find that would work in this space, so that we had enough room still to have like some, I guess, to be able to change clothes and do some of those kinds of things in here. And then we just mounted this tiny sink in the corner and built a little cabinet underneath it. And it's worked out really well. We installed a couple of mirrors that look cool, but also are mirrors. And then threw these baskets in on the road, just so we had some extra space to store just the little things that you needed in a shower, basically. Susan's really good at finding all those little baskets and putting them where they need to be. And I'm good at using the tools to screw them in place. Living in close quarters with your family changes how you interact. Maybe being in such a small space calls you out a little bit more when you're selfish. And so, you know, you have to sort of get into a rhythm where you can interact with everybody a little bit more agreeably. And so I think like being a parent, I think the biggest thing that I've learned about being a parent is that I learn who I am by being a parent, because I see myself in the kids, and I see the good and sometimes the bad as well. And so like being around that all the time it kind of starts to teach you about yourself a little bit more as well. And so that's kind of been interesting to be in an environment where you're exploring, but also exploring yourself a little bit more too. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, it helps you to grow, I think, which is important. I think we always need to be growing and learning and developing, and I think this has really provided an opportunity for all of us to grow and to develop into better people. So this is the kids area, part of the school bus. And when we were designing this area, we spent extra time talking with the kids and thinking through what they would need. Going from living in a home to living in a school bus, I knew would be a big change for them. So Josh and I wanted them to feel as comfortable as possible and to have their own space so they could just get away if they needed to just have some alone time. So we decided that bunks would be the best idea. So this upper one is Parker's bunk, and the lower is our oldest son Dylan's, and then Haley is over here on this side. And then we love love that we left this open down here. So this gives them space to play. It gives space for just storage. We also brought along our PlayStation so they can play games and connect with their friends. We just felt that that was important, that they could still stay connected with their friends. When we started thinking about designing the bus, we asked the kids what was their #1 thing that they would want in the bus, and they all decided they wanted monkey bars. And so Josh installed these monkey bars, and they have actually come in really handy. The kids have a lot of fun swinging on them. It kind of gets out some energy, and they can just be goofy in this space. We let them design and pick out all of their colors and comforters, and then we let them paint their areas. So Haley went with a Starry Night theme, and she did all of this work herself, and we just think it's so beautiful. And Parker, he did this is marshmallow, and it actually glows in the dark. So when you turn out the lights, everything's black, and then he glows. And then Dylan, he designed his own area, and he's got his school books and all of his things just tucked away as necessary. On this side of the kids area, we have all of their clothing stored at the foot of the bed in these little cubbies. And so what we did, we chose not to have knobs on the face of them so that when you walk through, you don't catch yourself on them. It just creates a bigger space when you're in the school bus. And then there are magnets that hold them closed so that when you are driving, they don't bounce open and everything comes out. We asked them what they would like in their area as well. And so Parker, he's going to show you a little bit of what they designed here.
We had my stuffed animals. I have bins to store all my stuff that I want to put in my cubby area. And then I have a secret compartment that I can reach in, and I can grab stuff out of there.
We thought it would be great for them to have space where they could store their special items. And so they have little cubby areas where they can put baskets of their books and toys that they want to keep. There's also a USB charger in there and an outlet so they can have fans if they want. And then, yes, Parker loves his little secret cubby storage area compartment that's up here. And back this way is our master bedroom, and I'll show you that now. This is our master bedroom, and we absolutely love this space with all the windows, and it's just such a beautiful view. We debated on the size of the bed and which direction the bed should be, and we finally decided that we wanted a queen size bed so that we were comfortable. That's the size of bed that we have at home, and we didn't want to go any smaller. So we went with a queen size bed, and then we debated whether to have the bed this direction or have it where the head is at the end of the bus so that Josh and I could get into the bed easily. Well, we decided to go with the bed this direction, and yes, one person does have to crawl in, but it gave us a lot more floor space. And the floor space was important for me because I love to exercise, but I don't necessarily like to go outside when it's cold early in the mornings. And so this provides a lot of space for me. It also provides a lot of space for Josh and I to be in here together, whether we're getting ready or putting our laundry away or things like that. Under the bed, we have a lot of storage. This is where all our clothes go. We put everything into baskets, and the baskets are actually working out well because you can just pull a basket out and set it on the bed, find what you're looking for, and then just put the basket back. I asked Josh if I could have a place for just my things like makeup and toiletries and things like that, so it wouldn't be in the bathroom in the way of the whole family. And so he designed this sweet little dresser area for me. There's outlets here, so if I wanted to plug in a curling iron or a blow dryer or something, I can plug it in here. So I think the #1 feature to have in a schoolie are hooks. We have hooks everywhere in this bus. They come in so handy. It gets everything off the floor, and it just kind of keeps things organized and clean. And so we can hang our hats, and I hang my coats down here and my purse down here. Josh has a lot of hooks on his side for his hats and his clothes and things like that.
So my encouragement to people would be, if you're looking at doing this, you feel like this is something that God put on your heart to do, just follow along, because I think that for me, it didn't always seem like the the way to do it was clear, or that the steps were clear, but I think just stepping one foot in front of the other and getting after it, I think is, you'll find your way to that, I guess, that dream that you were hoping for. So pursue it. It's on your heart for a reason, and it's worth it. This is the front area, kind of our cockpit and just front entry area. Some of the features that we thought were important on this bus are to have a swivel seat up front, and it was just important to us, number one, for Susan to be able to sit next to me while we're driving, so that we can kind of see the same things and talk and enjoy the ride. And then secondly, to be able to swivel it around and hang out when we're in lounge mode. So this becomes part of our living room and becomes part of our driving area when we're on the road. The bus is, like I said, a 40-foot Thomas Saf-T-Liner. It's got a Mercedes-Benz engine. It's plenty of power for what we need. We tow a Jeep with it as well. The one thing that's nice about this bus that we love is that the engine's actually in the rear. And so for us, sitting up front, it's nice and quiet. There's no heat from the engine, stuff like that. We purchased these off of Amazon. These are Pioneer mini splits. So the outside unit hangs below the bus, which we installed. And the inside unit, one hangs up here and one hangs in the back, and keeps the bus cool while we're sitting. On the outside here, a couple of things that we can mention. When we bought the bus, we really looked for a bus that already had the underbelly storage. So like athletic buses have a ton of storage underneath them. This one didn't. It didn't have any storage under it, so we had to add it to it. So what we did was we found a company in Indiana that builds these RV doors with the slam latches on them, and they send them out to you in one piece. So that was the door solution that we came up with. Susan's dad is actually a master engineer and fabricator of aluminum. So he came up with these 4-foot wide boxes, basically, that had a flange around them. And then we mounted that up behind the skirt of the bus, so you can't see any of it from the outside. And we just screwed through that flange to hold it in place, mounted some brackets on the backside, and we've got a nice 4-foot wide, 2-foot deep storage bay here. And this just holds all of our outside stuff, so our bag chairs and our grill and stuff like that. So, outside stuff. So we've got 2 of those, and then we just installed a table on the outside, a drop-down table, and it's been really helpful to have an outside table. One of the things that we thought was important on the bus is to leave the bus doors almost as is. We really like the way that they look, and the full height glass is really cool. This had an air door to it, so you had to have a switch inside, and it didn't really work well when you were parked. So what we did was we removed the air cylinder and all the wiring from it, and just used one hinge, and then installed angle iron at the top and bottom to kind of give it a little bit of rigidity. And then we built sort of a mullion or end cap over here on this side, which holds this is basically a patio door lock. And we just bolted all this stuff together, and it works like a regular swing door. And we really love that because it keeps the original look. On this side of the bus, we've got an outdoor shower that we installed on the back side of the kitchen, so the plumbing was real easy to run out here for this. We've got the fill station for the diesel heaters. This is kind of the hookup area as well. So this is our fresh water fill right here behind this door. We've got the dump station area behind this panel here. The generator is right behind this panel here. So it's we found, my buddy Ryan installed this generator that we found on Craigslist. It was an old RV generator. It's like 30 amps. So it handles pretty much everything we need in the bus. It's pretty sweet. It works really well. And then we've got our 50 amp connection here for shore power as well. We can accept 50 amps or 30 amps. We really only need 30, but 50 is nice to have every once in a while. Some of the important things for the kids was to have all of our bikes with us, obviously. So we've got that on the back of the Jeep. We bought a pit bike in Kansas City at a Tractor Supply place, Coleman 200 CU, something like that. But it's been a huge hit for the kids. They use it pretty much non-stop when we're parked, and it's really fun. A cool way to see like some of this BLM land that we're parked on, and it's been really fun. So anyway, that sits up here on this rack here, and then we've got our tow bar, and that's how we tow the Jeep. And so this is kind of our fun zone back here where all the toys live. we've found that we really enjoy building buses out. We enjoy the process. It's something that kind of takes all the skills that we have and puts them in one place. It's been really fun working with friends and family to do this, and so like we would like to continue to do this as we move forward. We've really enjoyed renting buses out. That's been really fun. We are thinking about doing this as a way of just continuing to build buses for other people and stuff like that. So you can reach out anytime. Our website is radhomes.com, radhomes.com. And you can find us on there. We're on social media at Finding Us Bus.
Well, like we said before, guys, we're the Johnsons, and we just love being able to share our tiny home with you, and it was a fun journey to go on with you. And so we just thank you so much, and we hope you have a great day. Bye.
Bye.